Welcome to this channel. The channel is for educations and culture based on historical and scientific evidence. So 2 days ago, I shared the YouTube on From Wing Chun to Ngo Zhou. Truth always leaves a trace. And after that, many of our Wing Chun friends contacted me asking me, how come Wing Chun become like this today? How come it lost so many things? How come it doesn't even have what the Ngo have on the short strike, where Wing Chun is a short strike art? Even in the movie, Wing Chun movie failed to show the short strike art, which is the very basic of Chinese Kung Fu. And so today I like to share with you the truth that for those who really want to study Kung Fu, Chinese Kung Fu, and Wing Chun must know. And so before I share it, for those who do not want to face the truth, for those who have your belief in your Wing Chun lineage and so forth, please stop watching this YouTube. Because what I'm going to share with you is by historical evidence. And it is not going to give anybody face on it because this history is history. Martial art is not something have fun, okay? It is not a movie. So my advice is do not watching this YouTube if you do not want to know the truth. Now let's start. Let's start in the early 1900s. So we know that in early 1900, a lot of Chinese martial artists, the real Chinese martial artists, want reform. As I shared with you guys before, Tang Hao make a lot of writings, and people don't like it. And Tang Hao is a study overseas, and Ma Li Tang called for revolution in Chinese martial art, proposed overthrowing the concept of self-righteous lineage or style, debunk the mystifications of martial art, and oppose the state making of martial art. State making, like perform in the state type of stuff. Now, so Tang Hao is well educated. Ma Li Tang is have a college educated. And at that time, like the other day, I share with you on the doctor or professor McCoy from Iowa State University, who is the, it's no longer here, who is the also the advisor for US Army and Navy. So they are at that time, they are living at that time where they know the Western physical educations, and they know how corrupted is Chinese Kung Fu at that time. And as in other video, I shared that Professor McCoy at that time is saying that, hey, you guys Chinese is what are doing. This is a flowery states performance kind of thing. And you don't even train according to physiology, okay? Now there's the early 1900s. Now let's get to Ngo Zhou. You have to be watch out. This book is written by the author Grandmaster Yu in 19 16, something like that. He is actually the author. Grandmaster Yu is actually the student of the founder of Ngojo, Chua Gyobing. Now, what you need to be really careful, okay, what you need to be really careful is uh, the author, the author here, Mr. Grandmaster Yu, and Alex Kuo, Grandmaster Alex Kuo Sigong, here is wrote down there, Tan Kyong Beng. They both passed military examination, government military examinations. If you read this book carefully, you read this book carefully in the beginning on the preface in 1917 at that time, 16, 17 like that time. This book is for educations. It is in a really organized training form. Okay. So it is, you can look at this, it's like following the General Qi Guang's military training. Okay. So you need to be careful. At that time, this group of people like Tang Hao, Ma Li Tang, and this Grandmaster Yu and Grandmaster Tan, they all high educated. And like Dr. Ma Li Tang is with physical educations. And this is with military, they pass military examinations. So guess what? They're going to write down things like a military training, organized military training. So it's like today's very organized, say, judo training, okay, or some training for the military, okay? So that's why you have so many things there, and everything is tractable, okay? Now, so what they wrote down, including like in this book, or General Qi Guang's book, or the Okinawan's Bubishi, or the Shaolin Sword Strike. Okay, so the Shaolin Sword Strike, General Qi Guang's book, Bubishi of Okinawa Day, and the Bible of Ngojo, they all are in the same group as this. It is organized training. Okay. So Ngojo, when it's described here, or the General Qi Guang's book, or this Shaolin Sword Strike book, it all is organized training for real, for fighting. Okay, like even like your Bubishi. Now, of course, when you get to that, you get to the details, like the other YouTube when I share on the Ngojo, you have orders, and that's why you need to handle your fighting. That means you have to be able to handle your core. If you cannot handle your core, forget about your fighting. And what they wrote down there, like in this book, You always have a theme, like ngojo. What is ngojo? The details of it, the standard. Why is it write down the standard of how you need to handle your core, right? It, here, okay. So this the general the gentle art posture here. You just have all your details on your core, like in last time I shared with you. So in this category of Chinese Kung Fu, it is like the General Qi Shi Guang's military training. It has the theme. Why is it a ngojo? Why is it ngojo, not something else? They have the theme, they have the details, they have the standard, they are traceable, and they can be improvement there. Well, traceable. So this is the Japanese karateka. Okay, they are meeting with the Ngozhou people, okay, or in the Zhuangjiu, Fujian people, and it can cite the it can cite the bubishi, the bubishi, okay, the bubishi. You can trace, okay, you can cite you can trace there. And another thing is this is Yi Da Yu, Yi Da Yu's short classic. Well, this is the Yi Da Yu short classic. This is Yi Da Yu short classic. Okay, it is. I put it in the General Qi Ji Guang's classic translation. It is a part of it. General Qi Ji Guang is a friend. Yi Da Yu is a friend of General Qi Ji Guang and also a teacher in some place, some area. Okay. So if you look at the Ngozo, like this, okay, the martial art people in the Ngozo meet with the karate expert there and discuss on this Ngozo uh, relations with Japanese karate, and that's why it's side out. Okay, the Okinawa there, you can see, you can trace. So the key, what I'm trying to say is that you always can trace, okay, this thing is from where, okay? So like in this case, you can see that, oh, Bubishi actually can trace to Yi Da Yu, trace to Qi Ji Guang, all this type of people, they are one group of people. It's like you come to Silicon Valley, you can trace which design belong to who know who at this period of time. You have Apple computer, you have Microsoft, and how all this thing related. It can be traced that way. So that's what I'm trying to say, to tell you, okay? Now, so like this Shaolin, this Shaolin sword strike, this Shaolin sword strike, well, it can be traced to General Qi Ji Guang's classic, and it traced to another classic of Ming Dynasty military, is Wu Bian. Wu Bian is from Tang Sun Zhi, General Tang Sun Zhi. So I have make it clear here. There are three generals there: Qi Ji Guang, Tang Sun Zhi, Yi Da Yu. Yi Dayu and Tang Sunzhi is like friends and in some way teacher to General Qi Ji Guang. So General Qi Ji Guang using Yi Dayu's material of training, and also it like using the Tang Sunzhi's material of training, like the Mandarin duck array of the General Qi Ji Guang is actually originated by Tang Sunzhi. So it is a group of people who's working there, and of course it's related to the Ming dynasties, martial and so forth. So everything linked together. Okay. So in the Shaolin sword strike, this is the Shaolin sword strike in this book. Like Shaolin sword strike in this book, and you can see that it linked to General Qi Ji Guang, it linked to Tang Sunzhi's. Now, when it comes to the Wing Chun 1850 Xiu Lim Tao, this first part, the entire thing here is based on this book. If you don't know this Shaolin sword strike book, forget about it. You'll never be able to decode it. And again, who is this related to? Well, as I just shared with you, Shaolin sword strike is related to, is an offspring of General Qi Ji Guang's, and is related to General Tang Sunzhi. Like the Ngo Zhou is related to Yi Dayu. Okay. So, like over here, you can have Mei, Se Zhuang, and some white crane. So everything's related. Okay. Now, that is what the proper Chinese Kung Fu is. It is an organized training by early 1900. Still this exists because this exists, right? Now, after 1930, even though 1930 is already really chaotic, things changed to the, like over here, it say that you have all kinds of concept of self-righteousness lineage, or my lineage, my style, mysterious of martial art, mystification of martial art. I have Qi. The ancestor is from Zhan Sanfeng, the Taoist. And then stage making type of martial art, stage performing, look good. Well, this type of stuff is actually this hierarchical passing type of so-called Kung Fu. So you know that in the beginning of 1900, there are two types of Kung Fu. The real deal is the organized training. It's very military. Every student will get the same thing. Okay, you have this book, every student will get the same thing. On the other hand, you have this hierarchical passing. Like, oh, there's one grandmaster passing to the student, and he call the student what king, what king, what king. Okay, so king 1, king 2, king 3, and then king 1 teaching his student, and they call it lineage 1, and then king 2 teach his student. Well, that's lineage 2, and then king 3, so forth, and then the student teach the grand student, and then somehow this other student come up and start his own lineage. Okay, called lineage 4. He call himself Grandmaster D. And then somebody from this guy go start his own lineage 9 and call himself Grandmaster P. So this entire hierarchical passing is based on what Grandmaster say. My Grandmaster say this, my Grandmaster say that. It's concept, philosophy, interpretation. Everybody can interpret whatever they want. Okay, and it's creations. Well, you can add something on, or you can whatever, and also it is untraceable. It's always it's belong to this village, belong to this grandmaster, belong to this, and talk with your hand, not talk with your mouth. Okay, and it can be anything. Well, today's Wing Chun, today's Tai Chi, you look at it, is a hierarchical passing. It is not the organized training. So what I'm been sharing with you, either from this in Ngo or in Wing Chun on Chai Lei Fat, is all this on once upon a time the organized training type of Chinese Kung Fu. But today Chinese Kung Fu have turned into this. Okay, so that is exactly what like a Grandmaster Ma Li Tang want to get rid of. Overthrowing the concept of self-righteousness lineage. Yeah, my grandmaster called me the king of whatever, and I start a new lineage and blah blah blah. But whatever is my grandmaster say, okay? And this is the concept, philosophy, interpretations. This is my lineage is better than your lineage. My style is better than your style. But then there is no team. Like here, there are no team. It's like in Wing Chun the other day, I say everybody say 群从三法, feast issue from heart. Well, heaven know what is a feast issue from heart. Today you go ask 10,000, you go ask 10 Wing Chuner, 10 Wing Chuner going to interpret you different interpretation of what is hand issue from heart. Yet in this book, it's really clearly tell you what is hand issue from heart. So that's why it belongs to here. Now today's Wing Chun belongs to here, okay? And as over here, it say that oppose the state making of martial arts, and then mystification martial arts, debunk the mystification martial art. Well, over here, it always make the grandmaster godlike. Such as grandmaster is the king of Wing Chun. Such as grandmaster is the king of this and king of that. There is mysterious, make it mysterious on all this thing. But however, all of this have never ever tell you like in the organized training type of real Kung Fu, authentic Kung Fu. On the team, the details, the standard, the traceable, and the improvement. It never tell you that. So over in here, like in Wing Chun, you never know how to handle your core. You never know how to handle the part of the body under your waist. But yet everybody have their interpretations and their lineage. And speaking of the stage-like performance, well, first, because somebody want to promote their grandmaster, they make a movie. Like there's Yip Man, the grandmaster. And then somebody make this, right now is very popular overseas. It become a state called Wing Chun, the states, okay, the performance. Well, this is sorry, exactly what they want to get rid of in 1930s, 1920s. Oppose the state making of martial arts. So, we like it or not, today Wing Chun is this, mostly is doing this. As what I just make an example for you. You want to ask about what is feast issue from heart, nobody know. They have 10 zillion opinion, but they don't even know that in Shaolin Classic, it defined for you, like here. So this is what happened. Everybody can just go to be their grandmaster, and the grandmaster is like God. And then you learn from this God, and then you have your own lineage and all this thing. What is this Chinese Kung Fu? Sorry, per early 1900 standard, this is not Chinese Kung Fu. This is something else. The real Chinese Kung Fu is organized training. It's not hierarchy passing, saying that who passed to who. Okay. If you want to talk about legacy, you want to talk about legacy, you want to talk about this legacy. There's no legacy here. This is only relationship. Who is whose teacher? Who thinking he knows something, the concept, interpretations, philosophy, whatever. Like Wing Chun is only a concept. When you fight differently, like using Western boxing. Are you serious? If you get into this, if you get into this type, people just laugh the hell out of you. Okay. So people over here, like start in early 1900, like Professor McCoy critics on the Chinese Kung Fu is all this. And then it become like that. Okay. Like in a movie and like this. Are you sure that Wing Chun is like this? So I always ask people, say, if you want to call your Wing Chun XYZ ABC, why don't you learn from Bruce Lee? Call it your own name. Because what you do is not Wing Chun at all. You don't even know what is Wing Chun. Okay. So this is the problem. That's why, like, when you face somebody like Ngocho, when you face somebody like the Okinawa Te, when you face somebody like Shaolin Classic, when you face something like Chi Chi Guang, you like completely living in another different world. Why? Because those are not real Chinese Kung Fu teaching. Seriously, you look into Wing Chun past 130 years from Red Book. Which one have education like over here? Like this is people from 1800s too, late 1800s and so forth, right? They pass military examinations. Have any so-called grandmaster pass military examinations? They know what it is in the military, or they are all amateur. They learn from somebody and then become a teacher, and then the student boot them up so high. But are they legit? They are not legit. So today, Kung Fu have a tendency to, actually it's not have a tendency, have already walking the directions toward the hierarchical passing. No longer it is uh, organized training. So this is very valuable because it is showing what is real Chinese Kung Fu. So we like it or not, we have to face it. Because if you don't have that, how are you going to face our Okinawa friend or Japanese friend or the Korean friend? People just look at you saying, okay, so we can trace to Qi Ji Guang, we can trace to the Yi Da Yu. Like the other day, I shared with you that the Korean document, it traced to General Qi Ji Guang. So where do you trace? You say, oh yeah, my Wing Chun trace to Ji Sim, trace to Mui, and that trace to M Tai Ching, and people look at you say, does it happen in the real history? What Tang Hao tell you those things doesn't exist, never exist. It just others Ji Sim Mui is a story from fictions where of 10,000 Green, which is written in by the author who is a Cantonese. So you know that for the hierarchical passing type of stuff is always based on that. It is no history fact of that. And in the learning of history, in the hierarchical passing, is always is you look up to a grandmaster, a godlike grandmaster, and his kung fu is magical. Like nobody ever get close to that. And then he have his student who is his king. And also his grandstudent will never get there. Why? Because there's no method there. There are no organized training there. It's just only you make this guy is God, and then this is the semi-God, and then you are the third class citizen. So you look around today, well, tell me which lineage have their student better than their sifu? You never see that. Everybody will say, oh, this grandmaster is like this the king, and once upon a time, look at the Japanese karate, look at the BJJ, look at the Thai boxing. Are they do that? No, they all are organized training. Look at the Kyokushin. Every world open world tournament, you generate so many fighters, and one generation's fight actually better and much more effective and efficient than the next generations. The Chinese Kung Fu today, which is based on the hierarchical passing, ever can compete with that? Like, can you compete with the BJJ? How the first generations develop, educate the second generations, have a organized training, and then the second generations improve and so forth. You never. It's just something else. And then you just make more movie, you attract more people, and the people who have no idea what is martial art, fighting art, fall into that, especially people in South Asia. So it is really sorry to see this. It's very sad to see this reality. So whatever in the past 100 years since Tang Hao, uh, Ma Li Tang, and Grandmaster Yi, they want to reform, they want to make it proper. They, because of the turbulence of the Chinese, the China and everything, they don't really have a chance. That's why I end up today. And so for me, it doesn't matter you're Wing Chun, you're Ngo Chor. We come to America. This is a place we can continue on. But you don't want to go into those movie stuff, okay? So there's a reason why I share with you that two model. One is organized training, like the military training. One is just so-called hierarchical passing. Oh, I pass this to you. And then this is my lineage, this is blah. And then you look at me, like if I pass to one of my students, and then my student pass to his student, and then suddenly I become God-like, okay? That's why I never want student. Why? Because I'm not up for those kind of hierarchical passing. I'm up for organized training. You look at the book I wrote, I never take a picture with this grandmaster, that grandmaster. Who cares? Okay? You need to follow the proper, not making those movie stuff. And sure, as what I said just now, if you don't like it, don't call it Wing Chun. Don't call it this. Call it your name. Then you can do whatever you want. But as soon as you call it Wing Chun, I hold you to responsible for Shaolin Short Strike, because the first part of the 1850 Shaolin, the first part of 1850 Xiu Lim Tao of Wing Chun, anti Qing Wing Chun, is based on this book. And this book is based on General Qi Ji Guang. It has to have the responsibility for the culture. Who you think you are? You own the entire Chinese culture? Can we say that? Of course not. That's why you say even Ngozhou and everybody is traceable. And that is what in the Chinese say, 尊师重道. You respect your teacher. You put to knowing the source, the root of where this thing come from or traceable as the first priority. You don't just go down there marketing or publicity and everything. So this is what I like to share with you. So today, you know, what you can take away from this video is always ask yourself, it is organized training, like a military training, or it is a hierarchical passing. If you want to learn real Chinese Kung Fu, you want to go to the place where it is organized training, not the hierarchical passing. Now, if you don't want to learn Chinese Kung Fu, you can go join whatever you want, okay? And I think that we in America, everybody deserves to know this. The entire world deserves to know this. And stop to make that ridiculous stuff. Say, my Wing Chun. This is my Xiu Lin Tao, my Wing Chun. And then you are copying things like in the Yip Man movie. That's why today I'm asking people when they do that to me, tell them about their Wing Chun. I say, how come your core you never train? The Japanese, the Okinawan, that part of Hara, they train. The Dantian breathing or Hara training, the Japanese have it. The like the Ngozhou, the Chalefa, they all train their their core part. So what Wing Chun? When you don't have that core training, what Wing Chun? So I know this is very cold, right? But are we selling snake oil? Using the name of Wing Chun to make money? While trashing Wing Chun? You love Wing Chun or you making money with Wing Chun? While trashing the Wing Chun for yourself, for your own selfish self. If you want to talk about martial virtue, all this thing, come on. So this is what I like to share with you today. I know it is tough to face. Well, the past is past. From now on, it needs to start a new volume. Whatever we don't know in the past, even me, I don't know until I step into all these things. So I spent 50 years, almost 50 years. Yeah. I'm 65 this year, 15 years old. Yeah, almost 50 years on this. And I step into this. At first, I'm like you guys too, on this, thinking on this, the hierarchical passing stuff. But then more and more I get into it, more and more I can see, oh, by history, it is this thing. It's not what I think. So whatever in the past we don't know, we don't, we don't blame people. But once we know it, you better walk a proper path, or else you know it is a dead end.